That's a very powerful question. Uh, the woman of God, Tasila, do I go on to answer? Thank you very much. It's a very great question. How do I get to choose my friends? So one thing that I've seen is that when you have got strong principles, you don't even struggle to choose friends because people simply connect to you, others will disconnect to you because of just your principles. So it's never been my worry. I really interact with everyone. I try by all means to interact with everyone, but those interactions, there's always a limitation because we can never really be friends with everyone. So many they just disconnect at a certain level because they know beyond this there's nothing that we're going to talk about in common. For example, after we are done talking about school, what else are we going to talk about? Another person might want to start talking about beer, or maybe another one will start talking about football. And then for me, I'm saying, what are we gonna, how can we improve ourselves? How can we preach? How can we share? So just those principles already chase people away that don't have something in common. So it is a thing where I don't even need to say a word, but people just themselves will be disconnected. Yeah. So have strong principles, have strong standards, and don't let the standards be compromised because of anyone. And your standards will choose for you your friends. I think that's the best way in which I can answer the questions. Thank you very much. Great. Thank you so much for the question. Now, there are events that are standard that are really planned for. There are events that are standard that are really planned for. For example, right now, uh, we know we are going to be having, because the academic year at the University of Zambia has been compressed, meaning that the exams are coming very, very soon, and also meaning that there are also some other activities that are related to the exams that are going to that we are also planning for. So there are some things that are standard. But for example, tomorrow we are going to be having a program with Apostle Michael Ropo. That was not planned. And that program, I'll have to attend it. It's not part of the schedule. but it's an important program for me. So I got to attend it. So the thing there, what is gonna help us in discarding the events that you didn't plan for, that quickly comes, what will help you in choosing which one to pay attention to and which one to discard is what are the things that you consider to be in high esteem. What are the things that you prioritize? For me, things to do with ministry, I prioritize them a lot. Things to do with academics, I prioritize them a lot. So I would rather cancel many events that are happening and then attend to those. But where there's competition between ministry and academics, as long as it is not it will not make someone to die if I'm not there. I would rather go for ministry because academics is just part of my ministry. It is not my sole purpose. Yeah, so what really helps in making a decision where there is conflict of decisions is the priorities. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Let me start with the one that has been asked first to say what time is the best to study and how many subjects can one study in a day. Now, the time really to study is dependent on the person. The person figure is very, very important. For example, for me, immediately I sleep, you can never make me wake up to study. It's not possible. I've tried it many times, it just can't work for me. For me, my study time is when I'm still active because once I become inactive, it's very, very hard. That's why I can wake up early to start studying and sleep late. But once I've slept, I can't wake up to say, no, I wake up at 03 to study. It's not possible for me. So you need to know the nature of a person that you are. And like again, if you look at my schedule, it's very, very busy. Nearly the entire day is occupied because of schedules. I can literally say from morning till 23, I'm really busy. So again, from 23 hours, if I'm tired, I can't start studying again because I'll be very tired with many things that I've been doing. So I need to find a time because I understand myself, understand I cannot wake up to study. I need to find a time for me to fit in studying within the daytime. And it doesn't have to be like a formal time for to say, okay, we are now studying, we are now studying. No, it can be as simple as when I'm just interacting with my friends, I just open a book. Oh, there's a question I couldn't answer. Let me scroll through pages. I look at that. Oh, so this is the one that is studying. That is studying. Yeah. So you need first to understand yourself. If you understand yourself, it becomes very, very easy for you to know even the time that you are gonna study. There are others that fail to study in the day. They are very, very good at studying at night before sleeping. Others they study very well when they wake up to in the morning. And then how many subjects can you study in a day? Now, for me, when you ask me, it's better. It depends with what kind of study technique you are using. If it's a study technique of I need to finish this topic, let's say there are questions that you were answering, you went through a past paper, there are questions that you couldn't answer, and then you have got that thing to say, I need to know this, I need to know this, I need to know this. That kind, I would say, study one subject, because you are going to read many books, you are going to read from many sources, because you want to understand the concept and you want to finish something. So one subject will be good. But let's say you just said, okay, I just need to do, let's say, this topic in mathematics. Let's say in mathematics, I just need to do trigonometry. You can easily study trigonometry in 2 hours. Okay, actually, 2 hours is even a lot, unless you don't have people to mentor you, to help you in what to study. But you can literally study trigonometry in 30 minutes and you can't fail any question. And I just mean that. So what makes us to struggle and spend more time in things we are studying is because we don't understand the things to pay particular attention to. Even if we know the things to pay particular attention to, we do not know where do I get the data for me to use to just know these things I want to know. That's why we waste a lot of time in studying. Otherwise, studying is the easiest thing you can ever do. Like if you come in the school of medicine, one of the longest topics in physiology is the gastrointestinal system. I can literally teach that system in 30 minutes, which they teach in about a month or so. Why? Because they are just specific things that you need to know. So many things that they are saying, you're just moving around the same thing, wasting time. But because I've read many books and I've compressed it, I can teach it in 30 minutes. Yeah, so it depends with the technique that you are studying. So in a form where you are trying to read topics, you can study even 3 courses if you have got a lot of time, or 3 subjects. You say, okay, in the morning I'm going to do mathematics, I'm going to do trigonometry from, let's say, 5, if manage it, you manage at 5 to 6 to 7 before I go for classes. And then when I break off at 13, I can do science. Let's say science, I'm going to do chemical bonding up to from 13 up to 15. And then, okay, in the night before I sleep, I'm going to do biology. That's how I'm going to do cells. So you can manage to do that. Okay. But if it's a thing for I need to understand this concept, when I read this in the morning, I feel I didn't understand. When I was reading trigonometry, I feel I didn't understand. I need to do more questions. Then you get to do that same subject. Okay. So doing a subject a day is very, very advantageous. It's an advantage. But also doing more than one will really, really help to move at a faster rate. The next question was saying, how do you get to encourage someone who has failed their grade 12 and they feel they are odd? You are never too old to attain your dreams. You are never too old not to make it happen. Abraham was called to have a son at the age of 100. Wow, Jesus Christ completed his agenda at the age of 33. So the age at which some people finish their careers is the age at which some people start their careers. So you are never, never behind. There are people that I'm teaching right here in second year that are over 40 years in second year. Not one, many people. So you are never old. Okay, you are never old. Get to do it, you are gonna make it. When I was doing there's someone that I knew. When I went to a certain place, it was in grade 4, they were rewriting grade 12. When I was finishing my grade 12, I started teaching them. That's the year they cleared, when I started teaching them. From when I was in grade 4, they were rewriting grade 12. Until I wrote my grade 12, they were still rewriting their grade 12. So I'm never too old. And now they cleared, they are now doing their nursing. So you can do it. No one is ever too old. All right, great. Thank you so much. The first question from Blessing: how do you stop feeling lazy to study? So this is now a battle you have to overcome. Remember, we had mentioned to say from the book of First Corinthians 9:24 to 27, it says, "But I discipline my body and put it under control." So you need to develop system to discipline your body and to put your body under control. If you don't do it, you are going to be taken advantage of. So discipline your body, put it under control. Even if you don't feel like it, do it because you have to do it, not because you feel like. You know, let's say if someone is in a relationship, there are many times, okay, you might feel as though you don't love this person and you might feel like walking away. But if you are going to allow emotions to dictate you, you are going to end up wasting your name, because today you'll be with one person, tomorrow with another, the other day with another, the other day with another, because emotions are not stable, feelings are not stable, discipline is stable. So allow discipline to take a hold of you. Do it even when you don't feel like it. So just have something that would drive your morale. For example, an easier way in which you can overcome not feeling lazy is go through a paper, find questions you can't answer, and let those questions that you can't answer stimulate you to studying. That is going to help you. Find things that you can't answer and let them stimulate you into studying, and it will help you. And then there's a question: how do you stop feeling how many hours should I study? Now, the number of hours, it depends with the content of the data that you want to study. Okay. If you really want to break down concepts, I don't mind you studying the entire day. But of course, resting is part of studying. Resting is very, very important. So find time to study. Maybe study for an hour, break off. Okay. You can study again. But for me, I can sit on my bed from morning till evening until I understand the concept, because I have got that capacity. Some people might not have that capacity. What you can do to help yourself in that state is that you get to have an hour study, get to break, have some break, maybe take a walk, or maybe watch something funny that will interest you, and then you can continue with your studying. Just find something to interest you. But at the end of it, or what you don't want to do is to beat time. No, I studied for 3 hours. The aim is not to say I studied for 3 hours. The aim is I understood the materials that I was supposed to understand. I now know the topic that I was studying. It can take you 1 hour to know the topic. It can take you 7 hours to know the topic. If you've known the topic well and good, it doesn't matter how long you have taken. So for me, I would rather not judge the hours, but judge the data that I've taken in. I feel I've answered the question. Thank you so much.